Hello everyone, my name is Hectic and welcome back to the channel and another GTA video. And today I have a topic that might be a bit controversial. I don't think I said that word right, but we're going to talk about the arcade today and why I don't think that you should get it. Or at least not as early as I used to say to get it. And let me start that over really so that makes more sense. In the past, in other guides that I have, or even talking about the arcade itself, I have said that, it's a pretty good business. You should probably get it as one of the first few things that you should to buy. Quite honestly, I think that it's much lower now, having hearing other people's opinions, forming my own, and with actual gameplay experience. It's not as great as I promoted it to be. And so my opinion has changed a little bit, is basically what it is. And we're going to talk about that why. Yes, there's a few different things you could do with the arcade. Let's talk about first when you're buying it. This is not a guide. Yes, this is just answers to the basically question, but reasons why this video is titled why the arcade's not as good as I recollected. So if we go in here, Maze Bank foreclosures, we're going to go to arcades. Again, we're not going to count locations really in the mix of this because most of them are fairly good. Depending, you want one in the city, do not get one up here. I don't care what you think, even though that it's cheap within that. Don't do that. When you start up Diamond Casino Heist, don't do this. I did this with a friend once and I had to drive 6 miles to the freaking casino. So basically give it that. Location doesn't really factor into one of the reasons. The price does a little bit, but if you do normal GTA grinding, this shouldn't be too awful of a price to get. Most of them are going to cost about $2-ish million. I think I got mine when it was on sale. I have the one in La Mesa. I know my auto shop and CEO crate warehouses are near in that area. So that's mainly where I'm set up. And I think that was like 1.8, 1.9 at the time within that. But they're going to cost you a couple $1 million. Yes. And whenever you're renovating stuff, yes, renovations actually are fairly cheap when you're doing this. The car garage isn't too bad. Personal quarters, I believe, is one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest in the entire game doing that. So the price here, except for maybe 2.3-ish million, isn't really factoring in. Yes. Personal quarters, by the way, is just going to allow you to spawn here, which I'm going to talk about that in another video, why you should, if you're doing things solo, why you should always be spawning in your businesses, not traveling back and forth. So, with that being said, if the price isn't factoring into, what makes you say that the arcade isn't really that great? Let's get into the money-making methods. First off is up here in the safe. The arcade safe. Yes, this will generate a maximum of $5,000 every 48 minutes in GTA Online, as long as you have every single arcade slot filled. Yes, and let's talk a little bit about this, because there's a trick that I suggest that you do, because you can get the maximum amount of money, which $5,000 per every 48 minutes is the maximum. When you're going to the arcade stuff with manage arcade games, and this is how you can change your slots around. Yes, and what's in there. Just fill these with the default machines and maybe one more ones. Yes, this is one of the, and you'll still get the $5,000 bone maximum payout. Yes, these arcade machines are the first reason why the arcade's not that great. Look at the prices of some of these. Yes, unless, and I still failed to do the research on this, but so far what I can tell, it doesn't matter. Unless if certain machines give more of a bonus than, or allow you to accumulate up to that $5,000 faster, there's no reason to purchase any of these other machines besides the default, and maybe one. I think there's one that costs like $90,000. Maybe pick that one up if you want some variety, because I know there's like some slots that need to hold like a bigger machine, like a set of 3 or 4. So you might want to pick that up. But this, like $666,000 for this, which I think, unless if what I just said factors into this, these are all cosmetic. And this is a lot for cosmetic stuff to really do into this. You'll probably buy maybe one arcade machine out of this in its entirety. Yes? So this is one of the reasons to generate. So where am I getting with this, with the arcade machine? If it doesn't matter, and I'm just filling in the arcade machines, $5,000 every 48 minutes. That's not good. Yes, people would say it's better than nothing. I would agree with them on that. And you just let that stack. But it's still, even though I think, what does the arcade safe hold up to? 100,000, or is it like, it's like 150 maybe up to $100,000, something like that. But $5,000 every 48 minutes. The agency, while yes, starting price, I think even the agency beats that out, even starting out. All you would have to do with the agency is just grind security contracts, and you get up to that $20,000 a day, and that even beats that. This is not now. What beside maybe the MC one is the worst safe in the game. Yes, $5,000 is not a suitable amount for just passive income. Now, you can let it just stack on and whatnot, but I like to collect my safes in between sessions and stuff. So I'm expecting a little bit more. So it starts out. So what happens if you don't fill in all of these? I believe the base, if you buy this, if you don't even mess with any of the arcade machines, you just buy this bare minimum arcade, I think it produces, what is it, like $200 every hour? 48 minutes, I'm going to round up to an hour on that. Every hour of GTA Online? Like, really? That's pretty bad, yeah? So, and as you can see, and this total earnings does not come from the heist, which we're going to talk about. It is probably one of the reasons why you're going to get an arcade. While some people, I'm going to suggest you get an arcade for a different reason. It's from the arcade safe. It's produced me $1.7 million, and out of all the safes, that's the least amount by a large majority. Yes, $1.7 million from the arcade safe. So, and if you watched my my guide or the video, what can Rockstar do to improve every single business, buffing the payout on this is probably going to be one of them. I already collected my money, but it's passive income, but it's not that much. Yes, so you're not going to get back your money that fast in just the passive income. Yes, so before I start ranting on about this, you can already tell I'm starting to rant on that. Yes, $5,000 at the max is not really that great at all. The main stuff is going to be down here. What makes it slightly worth it. We'll not talk about that. We'll talk about this right here. Diamond Casino Heist. Yes, I have the most fun with Diamond Casino Heist. However, every time that I've ran it, except for one time, was with I was not the host. Yes, I was helping somebody do a heist. Yes, I've only personally set this damn thing up and ran it once myself. Yes, and you can tell I've done all of this stuff and I'm in the middle of prep work for the second one. Yes, I'm not much of a heist player. However, I am doing a lot more Kayos and sometimes occasionally more casino heists more often within this. Especially Cayo Perico. I've even stayed away from I've stayed away from that a little bit recently, but I'm starting to get back more into it. That one was more of I don't really commit to it too much. And I'm going to try not to rant on this too much because I'm going to make a heist video and why I usually don't play a lot of heists. But the main thing within this is because, well, one, its payout is fairly decent if you want to do it, but for the work that it does, you could probably run about 2+ KOs in the time that you're going to want, unless you do like back-to-back or you have people helping you with these preps and just blaze through them. Maybe you can. Each player can come away with a few million, although you're probably going to expect a couple like $100,000 from in this. Each time that I've played it, even when I've posted, I think the most that I've come away with is about 400K. Yeah. And that was with pretty fair cuts too. Yes. And that's even with like 2 people. However, we were having cash. So why do I think that this makes the arcade not that worth it? One, I just think Cayo Perico just beats it out. If you really want it for the payout, if you really want to play a heist for a payout, even duo or even a 4-stack, Cayo Perico pays more than this. Somebody's gonna probably correct me on that, but I believe that still even stands. I believe a 4-person KO pays out more than the Diamond Casino heist. But if you want fun, I do find this a lot of fun. It does feel like a true heist. But it's a lot of work. Look at all that prep work. Sorry, I need to stop moving around these. That is, so weapons plus that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14, about 15 preps. Yes, that you have to do, not including the scope out. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Some of them take a little bit, some of them don't. Yes. If you're going to do this with another player. Even some of the setups, I keep saying to people, oh, most of them can be done solo. That's smacking me in the face now. So before I continue ranting on, sorry guys, because I don't want this to be a 30-minute long video. Diamond Casino Heist, while it's up there in raw payout, it still is just beat by Cayo Perico. And if you're trying to do this as a suitable money-making method, unless you constantly help people with Diamond Casino Heist or that, or just focus on just this, it's going to be more of a time waster than a time user, as best I can say. It'll consume more of your time than you really want it to. Yes. So really, as far as this, just do Cayo Perico onto this. But if you're not a solo player, maybe you could have some ideas within that. But however, buying $2 million property just to get just a heist, I still think is yikes. Yeah, you could do Criminal Mastermind with buying a $200,000 high-end apartment and just grind with those. Yes, it'll take a little bit, but you'll still get some value out of that. And you don't really have to do a whole lot of prep work for the apartment heist than you do the casino heist. And under the Doomsday heist, the Diamond Casino heist takes the most prep. The Doomsday has the most preps, and I think across all acts, I'm counting in, than this. So that makes it not really that much worth it. I'm not buying $2.3 million just to do the casino heist over and over. I'd rather buy $2.3 million submarine and do Cayo Perico over and over. So that plus the passive income of the arcade, and not looking too good right now. The thing that it does have it going for us, and let's talk a little bit of positive, is this. This is the Master Control Terminal. It cost $1.7 million, and it was from that upgrade tab up in the computer up there. This is probably the best, one of the best investments you can make in the game. And if you're gonna get the arcade to get the Master Control Terminal, I will not fault you at all. In fact, I'll praise you for doing that, because this is the only place where you can actually resupply your businesses without having to do steal missions. Yes, I can switch around my DJs without doing the cutscene here at the nightclub, which is really, really nice. I could do it for all my MC businesses. I can switch around my bunker, all of that. Just having the ability to also resupply all your MCs within that is very, very helpful. So that way you don't have to travel across the map to do this each time. Most of the time when I'm doing this, I'm either swapping out my DJs or I'm stocking a couple of businesses. If I'm going to stock like one and I'm up in my clubhouse, I might as well just travel to that one and do it. The only ones that I'm going to suggest, probably don't source or sell anything vehicle, special cargo, or air freight cargo related. Don't do that in here. But you can check on them to see like how much money you do. For $1.7 million, it's a pretty good thing, and if you run those businesses enough, you'll get your money back from doing this. Yes, another thing the arcade has going for it is the 10-car garage that comes with it. Yeah, I have a few garages that come with it, So, given all of that, should you get an arcade as quickly as everybody praises that you should, or preaches that you should? No. I think what really does it here is, now I could probably forgive if you're going to do this for a heist, maybe not as a grinding method, as a you want to have fun but you want to make money type of method. I'll excuse that. But for the passive income, and don't get it for the passive income. Yes, just buy an agency, and you have multiple methods that you could do with that will actually give you money back. And even that safe bare minimum, if you didn't do any security contracts, still gives you more than the arcade does at base value. Yes, the agency starts at $1,500. The safe does at that, and then adds on $500, I believe, every 5 security contracts you do, and up to 201 security contracts, $20,000 every in-game day in GTA Online. Yes, where the arcade stays at a flat $5,000. Yeah. And just looking at what you have invested at $1.7 million, and I've had the arcade for quite a while. Yes, and I collected my safes for a while. I let those sit. That's not a great amount. Yeah. I'm currently on a goal where I'm trying to earn $10 million from every business, and then up to like $100K, all of that. The arcade's going to take a while in this particular case. Yes. Also, drone station. I'm not sure really what that one's for. I know you can fly drones around, but I don't really know. So let's summarize this, basically, instead of trying to talk around in circles. I don't think that it's that great because it just takes too much time to earn back the money that you want. It has a trash safe. The safe is trash. And the casino heist just takes too long to set up. Yes. And it can be besides the Doomsday heist, can be one of the most difficult heists you can do. That one, yes, in any heist you can't. If you screw up, you're screwed. But in Diamond Casino specifically, you things could go down the drain very quickly if you don't know what you're doing within that. But I like that it gives you options that you want to do within that. But still, in all of that, it really doesn't. And because of that, it also doesn't make its way into a business. It's more of a property, yes, but it's also kind of a business at the same time. And you know how I feel about heist properties in general. I think that there should be something accumulated within that for that. So, in conclusion, I would say don't get the arcade early game. Yes, get it later. Late game, yeah. Unless you want to use that for the master control terminal, but you have to have a lot of MC businesses, a nightclub, and all of that stuff first. So it's gonna be down there. So then you're gonna ask me the final question before I completely end this video. When should you buy an arcade? Probably, as one of the last one, probably after you even maybe before a nightclub, before or after. I would even say after a nightclub, to really make it effective and not have it just sit there and not do anything. Before that, I know nightclubs are one of the last things you get, if not the last thing you get. I would even say to get a nightclub before the arcade nowadays. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on the arcade. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We can debate that. There is a difference between a debate and an argument. Yes. So if you would like to debate that, feel free to in the comments down below. I do read those. If you like this video, please consider leaving this video a like and subscribing for more gaming content. You're probably here for the GTA content, which that's good. I'll be pumping out a lot more of that recently. And let me know what you think of the arcade. My name is Hectic. See you guys in the next one.